Hey guys, what's up? And welcome to my updated Dimebag gear video. If you saw the last one, you might have noticed that the amp broke at the end and sounded shitty, and basically I wasn't happy with how the video turned out, but people urged me to upload it anyway. I did, but I also promised I would make an update video, so that's what I'm doing right now. Obviously the amp broke, but then I learned about a trick to use a patch cable in the effects loop. There's an actual relay issue with this amp that's pretty common for this amp. So I just put a patch cable in the effects loop and the amp worked. I mean, that's just how it is with old stuff. You can't really rely on them. They break and they make weird noises, and you know, I mean, this amp is from the 80s basically, so I'm just happy it's alive. And what I also did that's not the same as in the last video is that instead of using Dimebag's exact settings, I instead try to tweak it myself to make it sound as close to Dimebag. So I tweaked this setup and I have new settings that I'm using, and I think it sounds a lot more like Dimebag. So a quick recap, I'm using a Washburn Dime 3ST with a flipped Bill Lawrence 500XL pickup into an MXR 6-band equalizer, into the Furman PQ4, and then into a noise gate, and then into the Randall 100 HT solid state amplifier. That goes into my Hesu cabinet that has Demon speakers in it, but obviously Dimebag was using Jaguar speakers in the Cowboys from Hell album, and I think it was I think he used Celestians for the other albums. Alright, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Let's see what my neighbors think of this. What I also notice is that it's very hard to mic up the actual tone of this amplifier to get some kind of recognition of the Dime sound. So what I've done now is I have put room microphones in the room, and it'll be a lot easier to hear how the amp sounds in the room, because even if the amp sounds to my ears like Dimebag and Pantera, when you mic it up, it's so hard to even catch that type of vibe. So I'm using room microphones right now, and I'll switch between them and you'll hear the differences. Let's turn it up a little. So, obviously, this rig is very noisy. So let's turn off the noise gate and just see how beautiful it is. That's just fucking awesome. There's a lot of gain going on right now. Also, a very crucial part of Dimebag's rig was the MXR doubler or flanger that he used in the effects loop of the amplifier, and then he split up the signal to different cabinets. But it's almost impossible for me to find one here in Sweden. But I noticed that UAD had a plug-in version, so what you're hearing right now is the plug-in version of the MXR doubler, the original one. So you're actually hearing it with the MXR doubler right now. Pretty cool, huh? There it is. I kind of think that it sounds pretty much like Dimebag, I must say. And yeah, I'm very happy with this rig now. It's a lot of fun, actually. I'll show you a couple of pictures of the settings. You can try to replicate this if you have the same rig. Guys, please subscribe to my channel if you thought this video was cool. And yeah, like it, put a thumbs up on there, and push that bell up there, and just push an elevator knob somewhere. And see you next time.